Everyone hears horror stories about crunch, but it certainly doesn't need to be that way. It's inevitable that at some stage in your career you are going to have to deal with crunch. So how do we go around dealing with the stresses of bad crunch? When talking about crunch and good crunch versus bad crunch, we're referring to good crunch as well planned, well structured, the entire team is there together motivated towards getting the game shipped. Whereas in bad crunch, we're referring to unplanned, unstructured, working to tight deadlines when nobody wants to be there. As an employer, if you do have to go through a crunch period, it's obviously important that you look after your staff. Now we all know lots of people will go and get pizzas and feed people, but let's look beyond that. It's important to actually make sure that everyone's coping with the situation, to make sure that people can get home easily, whether that be providing them with taxis, to make sure that they're getting their precious time back by giving them time back in lieu. All of these small things can make a real difference to how your team's going to focus and work on crunch. How you approach the period after crunch is also really important. People's future views on crunch periods is going to be based upon this. So it's important to address why crunch took place and if it was successful. Things are always going to go wrong. Crunch is occasionally going to happen. However, if you see it as poor planning, poor organisation, this is going to be seen as a negative. If you can see it as something that's been well planned, well structured, but you just needed to do that extra bit to get it over the line as a team, this is a real positive experience. This just shows how important it is to listen to your team, take on board their feedback and find out how they found the whole process. During crunch, it's really important to remember to look after yourself. 15 coffees a day isn't going to keep you going, it's just going to make you absolutely crash. 20 Mars bars, it's going to have exactly the same effect. I know it's simple things, but making sure you're eating healthy, keeping active is going to stop you just going crazy. It's really important that you have an understanding family. By that, I don't just mean a family that understand that you're not going to be there. I've got a young family myself, and quite often I'll have to work late or be at conferences. And during those times, it's important that not only when you're away, that they know you're going to be away, but when you're at home, that time's precious and you're making the most of it. Occasionally you hear about people participating in crunch due to peer pressure. If the rest of your team is staying late, you're going to feel that you need to stay late. So therefore, if you feel that you're stressed out at all, make sure you're speaking to somebody probably outside your industry bubble. These people are going to be able to give you a different perspective on the situation and tell you if you're overdoing things. Every industry has its stresses. The games industry is often focused on crunch. However, we're really seeing a decline in this as more and more studios actively try and move away from doing crunch periods. It is going to arise sometimes, but if we plan this correctly, talk about it often, it shouldn't be a stressful time for people.